You know that feeling, right? You have this brilliant idea in your head, a perfect image, but you just can't seem to get it down on paper. What if you could? What if that gap between your imagination and a finished masterpiece was just a few seconds? Well, that's exactly what we're jumping into today. Okay, we've all been there. You get a concept, you grab a pen, and what comes out is, well, let's be honest, it's basically a glorified stick figure. The lines are a bit wobbly, the proportions are kind of off, but hey, the core idea is there. And then, boom, this happens. In literally less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee, that simple little doodle gets transformed into a fully rendered, totally polished piece of art. The speed, the quality, it's just staggering.
That is honestly the best way to think about it. You just provide the basic idea, the raw concept, and the AI acts like your super fast, unbelievably skilled partner. It fills in all the details for you, the light, the color, the texture, to bring your vision to life.
So, how on earth does this actually work? I mean, how does an AI look at a few squiggles and somehow see a masterpiece? Let's pull back the curtain and break down the tech behind the magic. The main technology here is called image-to-image AI, and it works by combining two key things you give it. First, it uses your sketch as a structural guide, you know, the what. And second, it uses a text description, what we call a prompt, as a style guide. That's the how. Think of it like this. Your sketch is the blueprint for a house. It's got the basic layout, where the rooms are, the general structure. Then, your text prompt is the renovation plan. You tell the AI, okay, I want a mid-century modern style, give me some warm afternoon lighting, and a really cozy mood. The AI then acts as the builder, mashing those two things together to create the finished home. Now, the engine driving all of this is something called a diffusion model. It sounds super technical, but the idea is actually kind of cool. These AIs are trained by basically doing a process in reverse. They take perfect images, add a bunch of random noise until there's nothing left but static, and then they learn how to perfectly undo that process. So to create your image, it literally starts with a canvas of pure static, and, using your sketch and prompt as its guide, it just gradually removes the noise, step by step, until a crystal clear piece of art emerges from the chaos. And look, this isn't just some fun toy for artists or hobbyists. This is fundamentally changing how professionals are getting their work done. So let's take a look at how this tech is being used in the real world, right now. Just look at this number. For an architect, creating a photorealistic rendering of a building used to be an overnight job. We're talking hours and hours of intense computer processing. Today, with AI, it can be done in under 30 seconds. And this table really just puts the scale of this change into perspective. I mean, look at the render time, dropping from up to 8 hours down to mere seconds. The hardware requirement, it goes from a super expensive high-end GPU to, well, any web browser. This isn't just a small improvement. It completely changes the economics of design and makes this kind of high-end visualization accessible to everyone. And it is the same story in the fashion industry. A design manager said that a single designer who used to produce maybe 2 or 3 drafts a day can now generate 100 distinct ideas in 10 minutes. That allows for a level of rapid-fire iteration and trend responsiveness that was, well, it was just impossible before. In this diagram here, yeah, it looks a little detailed, but you don't need to read every single box to get the main point. Just look at how deeply AI is being woven into the entire creative pipeline. From the very beginning with trend research and inspiration, all the way to prototype development and final approval. Generative AI is becoming a creative assistant at every single step of the way. So who's getting this superpower? Well, it's architects exploring dozens of building concepts. It's fashion designers iterating on a new collection. Real estate developers visualizing proposals, urban planners modeling city changes, and of course, game and concept artists who are bringing entire new worlds to life faster than ever before. So, what does this all add up to? What does this mean for the future of creativity? It means we are stepping into a new era where our tools are finally catching up with the speed of our own imagination. This right here is the fundamental takeaway. For decades, a great idea just wasn't enough. You also needed the technical skill and hours of labor to make it real. Now, that technical barrier is just dissolving. The ability to visualize an idea is becoming as simple as the ability to describe it. So I'll leave you with this question. If you no longer had to worry about your drawing skills or your rendering knowledge, if the only limit was your own imagination, what would you create?